Hey people, it's not a big secret that lots of insurgency players don't even know how to throw a nade properly. But after playing this game for 6 years, I noticed that lots of people take weapons that don't make any sense. And that's pretty much okay because weapon choice is extremely large here, and without experience, you won't know what's the advantages or disadvantages of any gun and which gun to actually take. So today I'm going to talk about every gun in the game, why you should take it, why you should not take it, and when you should take it. So starting with insurgent riflemen, we have a pretty funny weapon choice. Fun fact is that when you're playing Rifleman, you have two types of weapons. First type of weapons is weapons which don't have any smoke grenade launcher, but has lots of firepower. It's like SG, QBZ, Fall, but other weapons, for example AKM, have a hacking smoke grenade launcher. That means that you can take lots of more smokes with you, but weapon with that choice is not as powerful as weapons which don't have such a choice. For example, compare AK-74 and QBZ. It's clearly seen. So about insurgent weapons. Firstly, they have M16, just as security. M16 is just a piece of trash. Just don't use it. And then we have lots of other weapons which actually make sense. First we will start with weapons which has smoke grenade launcher. Basic choices are AKM, AR, QBZ and AK-74. If you look at AKM, we can see that it has very bad recoil, but otherwise it's very high at caliber. So many people can think that, oh my god, AKM is pretty good because it's very powerful instead of AK-74, which is not so powerful. But actually, fun fact is that AKM deals pretty much almost the same damage as AK-74. That means that AK-74 is even more powerful because of fire rate. But unlike AKM, AK-74 has really less recoil. It's more light, it's more handy, so actually fun fact that AKM is a terrible gun because it's uncontrollable, it's heavy and doesn't have much of a fire rate. Like, good stuff in it is that it has good iron sights and it's really quick at reloading smokes, reloading your magazine, but actually it's terrible because of the recoil. Then we have AK-74 and AR. These two guns are pretty similar, they're both pretty controllable, pretty powerful, but AK-74 has a little less recoil, little less horizontal recoil, which is very important because you can easily control even the highest vertical recoil, but it's impossible to control horizontal recoil because it's left and right, and you can control it, so you will miss on long ranges. So AK-74 is extremely fast at reloading your smokes and extremely fast at reloading your magazine. Plus it has okay iron sights, so I use it without additional sights. But AR is slower at reloading everything, but it's more cheap, so you can, for example, go for additional sight, or you can go for additional fire suppressor, which is really important. So these both are very good choices, but I think AK-74 is a little more fun because it has good iron sights. Then we have QBZ. QBZ is extremely uncontrollable, it has lots of recoil, but it's bullpup weapon, so it's more not as long as other weapons, and it has almost free 3x scope. So if you want to snipe for a far in a prone position, then you can take QBZ, but otherwise you won't need it. Then we have F2000. This is a pretty cursed gun with extreme recoil and extreme firepower. It's actually pretty fun to use at close quarters, but otherwise you won't need. Plus this sight is pretty cursed. So it's a fun gun, but you won't need it most of the times. It's pretty cursed. Then we have FAMAS. FAMAS is unfortunately a terrible gun because first of all it's ugly, second it's not a quick reload. Also you need an additional sight otherwise you won't be able to shoot it normally. And it's extremely uncheap, so don't use it. It's uncontrollable, it's small ammo capacity, and all the stuff. It's a terrible weapon. Then we have weapons without smokes, like SG, QBZ, and Fall. SG is a weapon that is very cheap. Like, of course, you may need to take and spare ammo for your magazine, but you actually can not to do that. So if you're playing Demolition, you can take it and then take an additional grenade launcher, which is not under your barrel. So you have cheap firepower plus some explosives. And instead of spending your points on QBZ, you can, for example, go spare magazine, spare ammo, and fire suppressor. But otherwise, you can pick a QBZ, which is extremely powerful weapon, and it has almost no recoil, pretty much like AK-74, but really more firepower. It's extremely good weapon if you don't want to use smokes in your loadout. So once you don't want to do smokes, take QBZ. It's pretty much extremely handy and powerful weapon. Then we have Fall. It also has good iron sights. Fall, like weapons like Fall, which fire very high caliber, they're good because other weapons needs 2 hits to kill a person without armor, but automats like that, which is more powerful, they need only 1 shot to kill you if you don't have any armor, but it has really more recoil. So I actually suggest picking QBZ, because this recoil is actually unbearable, plus it's not many ammo, without many ammo capacity, it's really long and all the stuff. But if you want some firepower, then you can try it. Then we have a security weapon for also observer, commander, rifleman, demolisher. Let's take like that. And boom, boom. Starting with F-16, F-16 is terrible, don't take it, all the stuff. Then we have 2 basic weapons, AUK and G36K. These 2 weapons is hard to choose from, because they both have smokes, and they both have their benefits. Starting with G3, with that stuff. This thing is pretty slow at reloading your ammo, plus slow at reloading your smokes. But it has real good firepower and all the stuff. But if you compare it to AUK, AUK is actually better at reloading, plus it's really handy. Like, you can snipe with it easily even if you don't have spare sights. And you may know that G3 is more good because it has more firepower. And I thought like that, but on practice, it seems like AUK is actually greater because of its easiness to control it, plus quick reloads. And it's not as long as G3, I believe. So it's pretty much a tough choice. Pick which you like more. Plus AUK has better sights, I think, better additional sights. It has also 3x sight, which is pretty okay. Then we have that thing once again, F2000, now without that ugly scope. Once again, it's a really scary weapon. You cannot shoot it at a long distance, but if you want some extreme firepower in close distance, you can try it. If you also have lots of ammo with you, otherwise don't try it. It has smokes too. Then QTS. QTS is absolutely no recoil gun, which has almost free scope. And it's very good at reloading your smokes. That means if you're playing on very long maps and you want some smokes and you want to snipe people like never, then you can actually take it, because you can snipe with it, but it's not very powerful. So if you're playing long maps, maybe you should take it, maybe. But you can also do like AUK with 3x scope and same smokes. So your choice. Then M4A1. M4F1 is actually has same firepower as G36K. It just has little less recoil. Plus, it's not uncomfortable to shoot it with sight, because even if you put that collimator sight, you still have that thing that will block your vision a little. So M16 statistically looks really bad, but for some reason it feels so great. Maybe it's just me, maybe it has better ergonomics, I don't know, but statistically it looks actually bad, and I don't recommend it. Then we have VHS and VCX. These guns are pretty similar. So VCX is a new gun. Before that we had VHS. VHS is a bullpup gun. That means it's very handy, it's very short, it has lots of firepower, not a very scary recoil, but it has terrible sights, so you should pick your own sight. So you need to spend 6 points plus 1 point for smokes. That makes it 7 points. Plus if you want first person, it's 8 points. It's not a cheap gun, but it's very handy, it's very good at firepower, and it's worth taking. But recently we have V6. V6 have same firepower plus less recoil, but it costs only 6. So you may think that VHS actually makes sense, but it not makes sense since the V6 release, because V6 have extremely good iron sights, and you completely don't need to pick your additional sights. Just play with iron sights and you will be able to shoot very easily. It's pretty much the best iron sight in the game as for me. So this gun is just like VHS, but less recoil and better sights. Plus, it also has smokes. That's why I think it's extremely powerful gun. But it's just a little more long. But fun fact that it's extremely fast at reloading, and just the light speed fast at reloading your smokes. That makes it pretty much the scariest gun is in the game. If not talking about AK-74. AK-74 is actually beast. Then we have weapons without smokes. First of all, we have G3A3. G3A3 is like full, but it's handy. It's not just as much firepower, but it's really handy. You can snipe with it, you can push with it, you can do anything with it. And it's very comfortable gun, which one-shots people without armor. So I think it's okay to take. But it's, I think, a little long to reload. I'm not sure, but I think so. So it's okay gun if you don't want to use smokes. Then we have MDR. MDR is even better gun if you don't want to use smokes. It also one-shots people without armor, and it's bullpup. But you also need to might need to buy some additional ammo plus a scope. So it's not a cheap gun. But if you're a scary guy who wants to play commander, who wants to play observer, but don't want to use smoke and put lots of stuff on you, so you can take MDR and have lots of firepower. That's it. Then we have a sniper. Sniper choice is actually pretty fun too. Firstly, both of the snipers have M41 or M24 and light-machineguns. These two snipers are good firstly because they're very powerful. Like, you won't one-shot your opponent only if you're shooting from really long distance and your opponent have heavy armor. Otherwise you will one-shot him with light-machinegun or M24. Also, they're extremely light. They weight almost nothing. And then if you don't pick any ammo belts with you, any spare ammo, then you will have 30 ammo with you. That's more than enough for a life. Then if you're using Mosin is actually better than M41 because it has that scope. It's pretty comfortable. Then it has pretty fun stuff like that. It makes you reload the gun fully if you want to. And if you're using sniper like that, you should certainly take that thing, so you will reload it as fast as possible. Then for insurgents we have that sniper. That sniper is good because it's also really powerful, maybe more powerful than Mosin. I'm not sure, it's a new gun. And you can also take 30 ammo with you if you buy a spare magazine. So it's also pretty fun sniper, but it's not as light as I believe. Then we have a Garand. Garand is funny as hell. I don't know if it's very good for sniping, but it's funny. You can actually take points with that, fighting close quarters, or you can snipe. You can also put a silencer, also put a scope, this scope is heckin' scary. But the most funny thing is that you can take a heckin' nades on it, so you can shoot nades from its barrel. So I don't know if it's practical, but it's one shot. It's pretty funny gun. You can snipe with it if you want. Don't know if it's makes sense if you have that or that, but it's a funny gun. That's all. Now, anti-tank sniper. Anti-tank sniper is useless if you're playing security, but if you're playing insurgents, then it makes sense, because if you shoot with it at a helicopter's tail, you can take down the helicopter pretty easily. So I think it's not worth taking to fight, but if you're near spawn and you have a ammo crate near you and opponents just spawned a helicopter, then quickly go to ammo crate, take that sniper, put a hacking magazine on it, put a scope on it, and shoot at helicopter tail. So you will take it down very, very quickly and your team will be safe. But otherwise it's pretty useless. Then we have SVD. SVD is pretty much the scariest sniper in the game. Security doesn't have snipers like that, because you can take 60 ammo with you without ammo belt, and I believe it's more powerful than Mosin even. I'm not sure, but it might be even more powerful than Mosin. It one-shot people. You can also take points with that, not only snipe, and it's extremely good. It's just good fire rate, extremely good damage, all that stuff. So you can use it to snipe. Very good weapon. Then we have sniper security. Sniper security doesn't have such good snipers. Firstly, because M41 doesn't have that stuff to reload it fully, and doesn't have spare sight. Only that sights, which is boring. Then we have TAC. TAC is absolutely useless, because unlike Insurgent Sniper, it doesn't have a way to increase ammo capacity. That means if you're playing without ammo belt, you will have only 15 ammo with you. That is absolutely nothing, so you will get out of ammo extremely soon. So instead of taking that thing, just take M41. This thing is absolutely useless because you don't have to fight helicopters, so I don't know why you should take it, maybe only to fight a car, Toyota, or just to make fun stuff, so don't take it. This thing is like SPD but worse, because it deals absolutely no damage. You will, lots of times you will need to shoot your opponent twice to kill him, so it doesn't make sense. This gun makes a little more sense because it has lots of ammo without even buying spare ammo for your magazine. It's also full auto, but you should not use it as full auto. You should use it to hack and snipe. But just in case you can full auto, for example, you can take that thing, so you can deploy this sniper and shoot it very, very fast. So you can snipe with it, but I would prefer M41 because it's very, very light and all this stuff. But it's better M41 or that thing. Other snipers are pretty bad for insurgents, or for security. Insurgents has really better snipers. Then we have machine gunners. Firstly, insurgents. Machine gunners are pretty fun. Insurgents have the choice of 2 light machine guns and 2 heavy machine guns, starting with Galil. Galil is basically like an automat, but with lots of ammo capacity. Just buy that thing and you will shoot lots of bullets. So actually you won't need to use it most of the time, because this is pretty much the hybrid of rifle and machine gun. So, but it's not very powerful. So if for some reason you want to firstly use it as machine gun to, for example, pierce through enemy smokes and then, you don't know, go and take some points with it, then you might take it. But not for insurgents, because insurgents have RPK. RPK is just as Galil, but you can take really more bullets with you. That means if you're, for example, protecting point, you can just shred all the enemy smokes, spray and pray, all that stuff. And if you want to have a close fight, then you can use it as automat. But it's not really worth it. And why the heck you would use it as a machine gun and then as a assault rifle. I don't know, like maybe you will need to do that on certain maps, but not many of times. So it's better to pick a real machine gun as a machine gunner. Like pick RPK makes sense, but only if you know what you want to do. PKM is actually extremely scary machine gun because it's extremely cheap and you don't need to buy additional ammo for it. You just buy it and it's already a scariest gun ever because first of all, it one-shots. Not many machine guns one-shot, but PKM one-shots. And it has okay iron sights, plus it's extremely cheap, so you can easily buy a fire suppressor for you. And it's pretty handy, so it's pretty much the most powerful and cheap machine gun in the game. And it's worth picking. Then we have MG3. MG3 is a terrible, scary gun, mostly made for fun. Because firstly, it's extremely uncheap. You cannot take a fire suppressor, which is extremely bad, and you should spend 3 points to make it okay ammo capacity. Otherwise, you won't have ammo. Plus, look at the fire speed. That means that this weapon is made mostly for fun, or if you want to spray someone real hard and lose all your ammo on it. So it's pretty fun to use on a point when you enter the point and you're just spraying and praying through walls and all the stuff, but you will get out of ammo really fast. So PKM deals as much damage, and it's just not as good at piercing stuff. So PKM is really better than MG3, but MG3 is certainly more fun. I even have a video on it, just a little video. Then we have security machine gunners. Security machine gunners are really different. They have different weapons. Firstly, they don't have RPK. So if you want a half machine gun, half automat, you will certainly need to pick Galil. But as you know, Galil is have not good ammo capacity, so you better just take an automat, which is more firepower. And don't pick a hacked Galil. What is the heck you should pick? I don't know. But if you want to snipe somebody, then yeah, take fire suppressor, use that stuff to relay your gun and snipe through smoke, snipe through everything, snipe across the map. Then we have M20. That thing doesn't deal much damage. It's just as Galil and all the aftermaths. It needs 2 hits to kill your opponents. But fun fact is that this stuff is pretty handy and it has 200 ammo capacity. That means that you can absolutely don't economize your hacking ammo. Just spray and pray through smoke. For example, if you're playing security push on hillside and security are just smoking you and going through smoke, then you can just take that hacking gun and spray and pray through smoke because you will have lots of ammo to do so. That's why this gun is so fun. Plus it's very cheap. You don't need to buy additional ammo. So it's pretty fun, pretty good gun to spray through everything. Then we have these 2 guns. I have no idea why they exist together because they're pretty much the same. They both one-shot people and they both has extremely scary recoil. And this gun has okay iron sight, but it costs more. This gun has battery sight, but it costs less, so you can buy iron sight. And I have no idea why you should pick that one or that one. I don't know what's the real difference. This is like just theoretically M60 is more good because it's more light and you can buy sight easily and all the stuff. But I have no idea why they exist together. Then we have this guy with 20 weapons. This guy with 20 weapons for security has a terrible gun. That scar, it deals no damage, it's very unhandy, it's not cheap, it's just a terrible gun, don't take it, what the hell it even exists. Then we have these 2 guns. Like, fun fact about these guns, this class, that this class can take suppressor on every weapon. That means that if you're playing this class, you should absolutely use suppressor. So, this thing has very good recoil, it's bullpup, so you can snipe with it. Plus you can take that scope, which is not very expensive. It's 1 point less expensive than other other sites, but it's actually terribly looking, so you may even want to take another site. But it's good because it's hacking 4x for 2 points, which is really good. So no recoil, okay, firepower, suppressor, all the stuff. You can use this gun to snipe. This is more light version of that gun, which is more light, and has more firepower, just a little more recoil as well. But I think it's better because it's more light, has more firepower, so you can be sneaky with it, snipe with it a little, do all that nasty stuff with your suppressor. But they actually both pretty fun. But this gun does not have that cheap sight. Then I have Tower. Tower is funny gun because it's bullpup and it one-shots people without armor. But it has lots of recoil as well. But it's better than Insurgent's Ace because it's not as scary on recoil and all the stuff. But, you know, if you want some firepower to do close quarter fights, then okay, you can take it. But otherwise, this recoil is so heckin' scary. Then Vector. Vector, just as in real life, Vector doesn't have vertical recoil. But in real life, it's maybe a good quality of gun. But in Insurgency Sandstorm, that means that you just can't control its recoil. You just can't. Like, you just praying and praying. You just praying that your bullets will go when you want. So this gun is absolutely terrible. Like, if you for some reason want to shoot only when you see your opponent and you want to shoot him only in close quarters and you don't really need lots of spare ammo, then you can take Vector, but otherwise, just don't take it. It's a terrible weapon because it's impossible to shoot literally and it's a lot of ammo. Then we have Insurgents guy with fancy weapons. I don't know how this class is called on English. This guy have SKS. SKS is a Soviet technology, but for some reason, in Insurgency Sandstorm is a terrible weapon which deals absolutely no damage. Absolutely. So don't take it, that's it. Then we have AKS-U. AKS-U here is actually devious because it's very, very light, all the stuff. You can put a suppressor in it, and like, it has an alternative as Alpha AK, but I don't fucking know why you should take Alpha AK instead of AKS-U, because characteristically AKS-U is just better, that's it, it's just better, it's better and better. It's more cheap, it has more firepower, just a little more horizontal recoil, but who cares? It's a scary gun. So I would prefer AKS-U instead of Alpha AK. But Alpha AK is also okay if you want to snipe somebody with your suppressor on. Then Ace. Ace is extreme recoil. So why would you even take it? I have no idea. I tried this gun and it has extremely long silencer. Like, Tower was a bullpup weapon. This is just an ordinary designed automat. That means it's pretty much long, pretty much scary. It's fast at reloading, but this recoil, like, why? You really don't want this recoil if it's just the difference between one shot and two shot on not armored opponents. So, not a very good weapon. Then we have P90. P90 is otherwise extremely scary weapon because it's extremely handy. It's of course have terrible recoil, but you will probably use it in close quarters. It's extremely powerful. It's extremely short, and it's extremely good at reloading. Like, reloading with P90 is light speed, and you have extreme amount of ammo for every magazine. That means if you want to push somebody, if you want to play breacher, then you absolutely should pick P90. Plus you can also do silencer. P90 is heckin' scary. AKSU and P90. These are two weapons. AKSU if you want to play normally, P90 if you want to rush a little and do close quarter fights. Also, don't forget your crosshair. I think that crosshair is pretty much, sight is pretty much the best. Now we have a breacher, pretty much the last class, yeah? Breacher. Breacher for insurgents firstly have steering. Why should you even use this gun? Like, most people will say that this is a funny gun for fun. But I will say this is a funny gun for fun. But it has the most silent silencer ever. If you shoot it with silencer, then nobody will hear you. Like, just put your ammo near the enemy's ear and he won't hear the shots fired. Because this is the most scary silencer in the game. Then we have two shotguns. KS is more short, but has almost no ammo capacity. It's 3 at the beginning and you can also load a fourth one. But this thing is more long, but it has more ammo capacity. KS is more powerful, it's 4 gauge. This is less powerful, it's 20 gauge. So it's pretty much a hard choice. They both are pretty fun. Like, shotguns are fun because they one-shot people, then one-shot people even at middle ranges. And you can also pretty quickly put down the doors by shooting doorbells. Because if you're shooting doorbells with automat, you will need multiple bullets. But with shotguns, you just one shot, two-shot door, and door falls. But if you're going to use KS, then please use that grip, because you will need to reload very, very fast. Also, you can do that. Then Uzi and MP5. MP5 is pretty much the pretty much common good how do you call it? Pistolet пулемет. I don't know how you call it in English. So submachine gun, yeah, submachine gun. This thing can have lots of ammo in it. It has good firepower. It's okay at sniping because it has okay bullet speed, and it has okay recoil. Like, okay recoil for submachine gun. So you can use it with very, very short silencer to do all the nasty things, even on okay distance. It's pretty much the best choice for insurgents, I think, here, because of all the stuff. You also don't need spare ammo belts because you have lots of ammo with that magazines. So it's good firepower, okay recoil, silencer which is not very, very long, and all the stuff. So you should absolutely take it. But then why Uzi even exists? Uzi is pretty much the version of MP5 which has just a little less recoil and also less fire speed. That means that actually when you're playing sneaky and all the stuff, you don't really need that much of a firepower. Uzi lets you snipe much more easier because of less fire rate and less recoil. And it's also as light as MP5, so you can do that. It's also little shorter than MP5, so Uzi is actually good idea to take instead of MP5 because it's pretty much easier to shoot and it's more handy. So this or this, you decide. Then AS-Wall. AS-Wall is terrible. Not because it has not many ammo capacity and it's lots of ammo, all that stuff. Firstly, it needs lots of hits to take down your enemy. Like, for pretty much every weapon in the game, you should have 2 shots on your enemy and he'll die for sure. But as well, sometimes you need 3 shots on your enemy. And then the ammo, the bullet speed is so low that even on middle ranges, you can normally kill your opponent because bullet just is so slow that it's almost impossible to hit people, and you will get out of ammo extremely fast. That's why it pretty much not worth it. Like, it's really less firepower than MP5 because it's almost the same fire rate, but this stuff just not have such speedy bullets. That means even in close quarters it will decide win or death, and it deals no damage. So take MP5. Do not take Hacking Wall. It's terrible. Then we have security. Security breacher is are also different. Firstly, grease gun. Grease gun is just a sterling, is extremely quiet. So if you want to do some funny things with it, then you can try. Then we have two shotguns. These two shotguns. After KSG release, I think here is not a single purpose. There is no purpose in that shotgun because KSG is bullpup. That means it will be easier to shoot at close quarters because it's not that long. Plus it has better ammo capacity. You will of course need a scope because common scope here is terrible, but I think it's pretty much affordable. So KSG is better. But if for some reason you want to take lots of more stuff with you, then you can also use this. MP5. MP5 here is just MP5 for insurgents. It's very good choice. And it also has more fancy silencer. Then MP5. MP5 is not a cheap weapon. Firstly, if you want to have a good ammo capacity, then pay hacking 4 points. But MP5 is extreme firepower, extreme reload speed, and extreme handiness. Like, it's very good ergonomics, it's very short. So if you want to push hard, then you definitely should take it. It's hacking scariest weapons for breaching ever. Why you even need this if you have this? But you will certainly have to spend lots of points. And if you want silence, then rip your wallet. I don't know. Then Honey Badger, unlike MP5, it's pretty much okay. Like, I don't know if it's worth you using if you have MP5 in your hacking loadout, because it's pretty much same firepower, but yeah. Well, this gun have lots of penetration, it has not very long silencer, and good iron sight. So if for some reason you want to use this gun instead of MP5, maybe it's worth it. I used it a lot and I liked it. But it's long, really long, which is very bad. And well, you can think that it's better to snipe with Honey Badger, but it has really not very good bullet speed. So I think that MP5 should be actually a little better. And if we're talking MP5 instead of Honey Badger. But at least Honey Badger is not as terrible as Wall, because it deals damage actually. So that was pretty much all the classes. And some words about pistols. You actually don't need them. You don't need pistols. Why the heck you should use them? You only need a deagle and revolver, just in case you want to break your timing in games like ambush or firefight, or if you want to snipe with hacking with hacking revolver. If sniper is taken, if you want some very light sniper, then you have it, let's go! Put some this stuff, all that stuff, and you have a sniper. And for insurgents, you're playing ambush or firefight, then you also can break timings with deagle. But otherwise you absolutely don't need any of pistols. That's it.